Welcome to the C-Bin podcast, a show where artists and musicians with an axe to grind throw things deep into the abyss of the C-Bin. Transphobia, racism, ableism, anti-Semitism, sexism, and homophobia, it all gets dumped on the trash! How's it going, guys? Welcome to the motherfucking C-Bin podcast. It's me, everyone's favourite, big, voluptuous, delicious daddy, the right reverend of the Pentecostal Church of the C-Bin, and Bigfoot, big, delicious, peace on the side. Happy New Year! It's 2023, and I haven't done an episode for a few weeks, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you for why. One, because I nearly died, because I was dead poorly, and I was coming from my chest. I was coughing up mouthfuls of chest cum every day, and every time I tried to record an episode, I was like, "Welcome to the," and then no one wants to hear that shit. And also, I was just like, New Year, new me. I was like, New Year, old me. I'm just like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna be sad for a couple of weeks. But you know what? The grass is always greener or something. I don't know. I feel alright now. It's all good. But either way, it's a new year. And I'm with a guest who's elusive like a cryptid walking the streets of North America, like Mothman or something. Every time I grab a glimpse, she's just like, we start recording and something bad happens, or like we start recording and we're both dying or whatever. But anyway, it's fucking, you can see it ripping and rocking and follow your dreams and being at a general ledge. It's Katz. Hello.
Hello, finally. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. How are you? What did you get up to?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. God, we had a right busy Christmas and New Year, to be honest. We were here, there, and everywhere. I was ill as well. Obviously, we both tried to film previously, and we were both coughing up the chest cum, as you like to put it. But then obviously we had Christmas, and I've got family in bloody everywhere, so we went Christmas Eve. We went to Leeds to see my side of the family, and then we hightailed it to Wales to spend Christmas Day with Big Ans's brother, and then straight to Stoke to see his Chris. I keep wanting to call him Chris, but no one will know who I'm talking about. Big Ans's side of the family, and then so that was 4 days of 4 different corners of the country and another country.
You went on tour. We went on Christmas tour.
Had a Christmas tour, yeah, exactly. Like left the band at home and just had a Christmas tour of family.
Pretty good.
But yeah, it was decent.
Did you get any good presents?
Yeah, I got loads of decent presents, I got some quads, some skates off Big Ans.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's good. I'm going to try them out next weekend.
Just don't immediately break your fucking ankles, yeah?
Hopefully not. So I used to love quads when I was younger, and I hadn't been skating for like donkey's years. Obviously, I'm 35 now, and I went skating for Cheryl's hen party recently, and I literally was like a duck to water, and I was like, this is ace. And I was drinking cocktails and still didn't break anything, so I was pretty happy with myself.
Mate, that sounds like proper, like, it's quite an extravagant image in my head. You, like, skating around with a cocktail. Like.
So, yeah, wearing a sequin dress because it was a glitter theme kind of vibe. So, yeah, I had a cocktail and my quads on, my little sequin dress, and I was like, and they were Cosmo cocktails as well, so it was all, like, galactic and stuff. It was good fun.
That's one of the gayest things I can imagine, and it sounds amazing.
It was. I love a bit of gay. It's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, just that image of just like sparkly dress, rollerblade, cosmopolitan, bang.
Yeah. My full-on queerness came out for the day, and I was like, yes, queer and proud, love it.
Hell yeah. Right. So, before we start, I've got a weird anecdote I need to share because it's on my mind, and if I don't talk about it, it's gonna drive me mental, and it's totally not even like interesting, but I just want to tell you. So,
go on.
Do you know what like a permanent retainer is?
As in like dental permanent retainer?
Yeah, like when they kind of like cement in a wire on the back of your teeth to hold them in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I've got one of them, right? But then like just like a couple of weeks ago, it just kind of like the one on the back of my front tooth, like just kind of like cracked away. and was like just hanging on by a wire. And I couldn't find a dentist to like fix it in place. Chris from Attercop, shout out, he's a legend because he works in, you know, orthodontal medicine. He was like sending me all these messages being like, oh, I'll come to Bristol, I'll do you some free dentistry, it's cool. But obviously I can't just get to Bristol because I'm a big boss man. I got things to do. I've got moves to make. So I just had this like razor sharp piece of like something on the back of my teeth hanging there for like almost a month now. This morning I woke up and it was like dangling out of my mouth and shredding me up.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
sounds
so
awful.
I had to like perform some like proper like crust punk dentistry this morning.
Did you do DIY?
Yeah, I had to rip this like piece of cable off my mouth.
Oh my god!
It feels dead weird because like it like covers like half the back of your tooth. So now like my back tooth is like one half the size it was before, and it's really jarring.
Especially because if you've had it for a while and you've gotten used to how it feels, now it feels different.
Yeah.
At least it's not shredding you up though.
Yeah, that was nice. I was like, fucking thank fuck, because everything I've eaten for the last month has tasted really intense because my tongue's covered in little micro cuts.
Oh my god!
From this weird tooth.
You're like, so now, oh my god, it's a whole new thing. Taste differently.
Now I can enjoy mustard again without crying.
Do you feel good about it then? Are you happy that it's happened, that it's gone?
Yeah, I wouldn't have done it on my own accord. I wouldn't have just bent it back and got it off. But you know, fate deemed it at the appropriate time to shove me into the dentist chair, which was my bed when I still hadn't put my glasses on yet. So I'm all right now.
Well, that's it. You know, you can't get more DIY than that, can you, mate?
You can't, no. If anyone ever tries to revoke my punk points, I did my own dentistry in bed. So fuck that.
Yeah.
But, right.
That's all punk points in there.
Shite. Yeah. Speaking of things that are shite, shall we get cracking with the proverbial knacking? And we're going to aptly start with intros.
Huh.
Intros. What do you mean by intros?
So, like, not like any intro, like, you know, not like intros to music or introductions to people or anything like that, but literally like, you know, those shit intros you get on the beginning of programs. So they are like a series. Say you're watching a series on Netflix or whatever, and you have that little bit at the beginning where they give you like 5 minutes of the episode and then it stops and it's like freaking stupid music and different pictures and stuff, and it's like 5 minutes of that before it gets back into the program. I don't mind it the once, like the very first time you watch the program, but if you like binge watching something and it's the intro every single flipping time, it's like, yes, I know.
Because they put that skip intro button, but it's only up for like a couple seconds. And it's like, if you're kind of binge watching something in the background, it's like you're not going to have the wherewithal to grab the remote to skip intro immediately.
Yeah, exactly right. And it goes off like you say within like a second, and then you're stuck watching this intro and you're just thinking it's completely like irrelevant to the actual series as well. It's like usually a load of random pictures that are just a bit weird, that don't actually make sense to anything, or like, you know, just some random people from the series or something. And it just annoys me, you know. I don't really like, there's no reason for it to actually annoy me, but it just annoys me. I just get really offended if like I can't skip it quick enough and I have to sit there and watch it. It just really grinds my gears.
Netflix is the worst for this because they like have really long intros, I feel, because they have such big crews or whatever. So all the Netflix intros are like 45 seconds to a minute of animation with music and shit. Like Breaking Bad is like about as good as it gets because it's just like one little guitar lick and then it has the logo and it's like, cool, we're in. But then you watch like Game of Thrones and it's like a whole 2-minute intro of a song that has like, you know, 3 verses and a middle 8 and a bridge and a breakdown and all that shit.
Yeah, exactly right. And I just think like, who thinks it's a good idea to spend money making that shit? Like, spend more money making the program or like putting something else on. But like, no one in the right mind must watch the intros. Surely there's no one out there that actually sits and enjoys watching the intros.
Mate, you'd be surprised, right? So Sniff lives above me in the room above me, right?
Oh,
and he's got a bad hearing, I think, because he listens to everything he does like on super high volume through his like studio speakers. So I hear everything he consumes through my ceiling, and he binge watches The American Office regularly, and he'll always listen to the intro theme. So I'll literally like every half an hour I'll hear. And like the bass like boom 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 boom
No,
boom boom boom
right.
boom boom boom.
You need to find out if they actually like the intros or if they're just because it's on. Like that's something you can ask them. Just be like, is it just because you're binge watching it and you just letting it run, or are you actually enjoying the intros? Because I would like to know if there's anybody out there that actually watches the intros because they want to.
Yeah.
I just think the answer could be no.
Well, I think Simpsons did it right because some episodes they would have the full intro depending on how like short the actual episode was, and then sometimes it would just be like them run to the couch. There's like sometimes it was literally just like the logo, run to the couch, bang, and it was like cool, sick.
That's enough for me, right? Because it's like, yeah, I know you want to highlight what the program is and you want to say what the program is, but I don't need a load of like random shit before it. Just do it like that, quick 5 seconds. I'd be okay with even a 10-second intro. I'd take it. I'd take a 10-second intro, but when they're ridiculous, like a minute, 2 minutes long, what is the point?
Yeah. I just thought of something though, which is going to be hypocritical to my opinion on this so far, but I love watching Star Trek, right? Because it's very nostalgic to me as a kid, and the experience to me watching Star Trek includes the opening theme song. Like I love it so much.
So that opens up a whole another conversation about intros, then, doesn't it? Nostalgia. So like, oh right, okay, you've just thrown a spanner in the works here, because I actually, when I was a kid, would always watch the Round the Twist theme intro. Now you've brought that up, actually, you've really thrown a spanner in the works, because that was brilliant.
And so if you watch any Pizza Tramp set, you get reminded of it every time.
I do, yeah. It's nice, actually. I like watching that, because then I'm always like, oh, my childhood.
Oh, yeah.
Also, it gives me good, fun memories, because we did, like, years and years and years ago. So our friend Tim Gray, that used to record and stuff, who's now sadly dead, he came out with us one night, and we had like loads and loads and loads of people in this little tiny like old man's bar, and we were in this back room. There must have been about 10-20 of us or something like that, and we're in this back room, and there was another group of people on like another table, and we had a proper sing off, and it was ace. We were just having a laugh, and like we were singing songs and they were like trying to out sing us, like a dance off but sing like a sing off. It was honestly so impromptu and so much fun. And me and Tim won it by singing the Round the Twist theme tune. We did it, and everyone was like, "Nah, there's no beating that. Like, there's no beating that." So every time I hear the Pizza Tramp say, it also reminds me of Tim. So it's like a double nice reminder.
Yeah. I think we found the answer though to this conundrum, because back in the day, intros to TV shows had lyrics and was like a full song, and a lot of these modern day shows basically kind of have like an ambient music theme with just like a slideshow of images, so it's not catchy. Like the intros aren't catchy. Back in the day, especially like cartoons and stuff like Cat Dog, or like, you know what I mean, like that's one that comes to mind. You like, or like SpongeBob, or yeah. Like everyone knows the lyrics to those songs because it's like nostalgia. So I think like
maybe that's it then.
They were trying hard then.
Maybe this should be tailored more then to like modern intros rather than intros in general.
Yeah.
Modern intros are shit, aren't they, when you think about it?
Yeah, because no one's writing like an EastEnders theme these days. If there was a new soap opera, it would just be like, not like
for 3 minutes.
That was Emmerdale. I'm getting my soaps mixed up.
Yeah, it was Emmerdale, that wasn't it?
Yeah, I was an Emmerdale kid growing up though.
Was you?
Yeah, my mum watched Emmerdale. I think she liked to think of herself as like, you know, from Yorkshire, even though she was from fucking Cornwall. She could relate to the country bumpkins of Yorkshire than she could the hard nuts of like the London streets.
Well, I know what you mean though. Like growing up, my mum watched Emmerdale, Corrie, and EastEnders, so I used to get the whack because I used to
The
hang
Three
out with mum just
Amigos.
I used to just chill watching the telly with my mum, and she'd be like, "Just gonna put my bubbles on." She calls them bubbles instead of soaps. So she's like, "I'm just gonna put my bubbles on."
Just gonna watch the
Just hang out.
stories.
Yeah, but I used to prefer, even though Corrie's obviously filmed in Manchester, which is obviously where I'm from. I preferred EastEnders. EastEnders was always a bit grittier, I thought.
Yeah, EastEnders was like the Guy Ritchie of soaps, you know.
Yeah.
You never know when
Doesn't
Statham's going
always
to come around the
happen,
corner
does
and
it?
chin someone out. Like,
Yeah. I was a Hollyoaks fan actually though. Hollyoaks was my choice growing up.
now that's a theme song that's like engraved in my head. Till one day I picked up my guitar and just started playing it without learning it.
Well, Hollyoaks.
Yeah, down, down, diddle, diddle, down, 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 down,
Oh
down, down,
yeah, I
down.
forgot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
down,
I forgot
down, diddle,
about
diddle,
Hollyoaks.
diddle, down.
Nice, yeah. That's actually a decent tune, actually, isn't it? I'd
Yeah,
forgotten
but one
about
day I
that
picked
though.
up the guitar and I just went down, down, diddle, 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 and I just started playing it. Never even learned it. My mind just knew what to do. It was like I was being
Well,
possessed by the ghost of Hollyoaks' theme song.
did you watch Hollyoaks then as well?
Well, it was always on when I'd come home from school. So I'd come home from school and I'd get changed into my civvies and I'd put on the telly in my room and, you know, Hollyoaks would be on and I wouldn't really be watching it, but every now and then they'd be like, oh, there's quite clearly just a supermodel trying to break into acting. I'm going to look at them.
That was pretty much what Hollyoaks was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No one could really act. It was just pretty people who were trying to get a break.
Yeah, it was their
What
foot
did
up before they go on like, I'm a celebrity, get me out of here or something.
you? Yeah, that's it. That's their claim to fame. I was on Hollyoaks and now I can go in the jungle.
Yeah.
What did you say you got changed into? Civvies?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like my civilian clothes, that my school uniform.
Civvies? Is that like a proper like down southy kind of term? Because I've never heard of that.
I think that's like an army term. That's what my dad would call it because he's in the Navy. He's just retired like this week actually. So congratulations, Dad. But
Hey.
he'd be like, "Oh, getting your civvies," which just means like getting your street clothes.
Okay, so just like your chilled clothes.
Yeah,
No way,
yeah.
I've never heard that term.
Dress
I
like a
used to just
civilian.
play out in my uniform. God knows, thinking about it now, God knows how my mum got it all done. Getting the washing done, when you think about it now, trying to get your washing done as an adult. Mum used to let me play out in my uniform, and I used to have a clean uniform every day. I don't know how she managed it.
Yeah, my mum was the same. I only had like one. Just,
Yeah.
like, then again, my mum's favorite thing in the world is ironing. Like, I manage a charity shop now, right? And she's always
Yeah.
like, "Do you need me to come in and just iron everything?" I was like, "No, like it's fine.
Just
Don't worry
loves
about it."
iron.
Yeah, she's
Is
like,
your
"I
mum
just
the
find
kind
so
of
much
person that
peace."
would she iron it? Would she iron her knickers, like underpants?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
oh
socks. Yeah,
Yeah.
my mum would do that as well. Mum used to throw the iron over my dad's wife front, you know. I don't iron anything. I hate ironing. I just shake it out and give it a bit of a kind of stretch and then stick it on.
yeah. See,
Not
I don't do
anything.
anything because she insists on doing my washing for me because she likes ironing so much.
Really?
She's like,
I
"Don't
wouldn't
you
argue
dare
with that
fucking
though.
wash your clothes." So I don't, you know, I need to have extra ironing material. I think she gets some sort of zen out of it. Like,
Yeah, that's all right.
that's
But if she likes it, man, keep her happy. It means you don't have to do washing as well. It's a bonus,
yeah,
isn't it?
true. Yeah. And
Come do mine if she wants.
yeah, and also my mum fucking loves Nosebleed. And if you heard the episode she just did around Christmas time,
I've not had a chance to listen to it yet, actually. No,
yeah,
I'm not
I
caught
played,
up. Does she
I
actually
played
like
it.
Nosebleed?
Yeah, I played her some tunes, and she loved a bit of Nosebleed, loved a bit of Bruise Control.
Nice.
Liked Comeback Clip, but didn't like the vocals. Wanted it to be a bit clearer.
Oh, because it's shouty. Yeah.
Yeah,
Should probably hate us then.
yeah. She was like, "Oh, it's nice. I like the bass guitar, but I don't like it because it's a bit shouty, you know."
Bless her. Yeah,
Yeah,
cute. Happy mum.
I'll show her you like next year. But
Yeah.
I
See
think
what she thinks.
so. I think what we've discovered is modern lazy TV intros that aren't catchy jingles and are like almost unskippable are definitely shit and should go in the C bin. So listen for the splash.
Yeah.
Bang! In it goes. I hope people don't feel that way about my intro, like the start of the C bin episodes. I hope they don't, because they're not skippable unless you like
Imagine.
fast forward.
How awkward would that be? You've just put yourself in a sea bin.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think I wrote a banging little
No.
punk tune.
Your intro's good. I'll give you your intro because your intro is catchy. It's fine. You're in the SpongeBob realm, not the shit modern realm. You're good.
That was all my favourite things when I did C-Bin at MPF, and I played the intro, and I could see everyone singing along, and I was like, "Oh, mate, this is nice."
You've made it.
Yeah, Mama did it. Right. So, what? People who like edge forward at the red light.
Yeah, it's a bit specific, isn't it, this one? But
Talk to me. Because you were on. Sorry to interrupt you, but when you were on very briefly before, when I did the C-Bin at was it what's it called first?
We tried to do it. What's it called? And yeah, I think we ran off to multiple different. Oh no, we did a like a 10-minute one, didn't we, outside at the beach?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did a brief one, and you were talking about driving people that like fucking overtake or something.
Yeah. So you know what? Everything I was thinking about to put in a C-Bin mostly revolves around people driving. I think I just hate drivers in general. Like, people aggravate me. Like, but quite a lot of the stuff that I wanted to put in, someone's already put in, thankfully. Like, middle lane drivers on the motorway is my biggest thing. I hate a middle lane driver. If I'm ever in a car with somebody and they're driving in the middle lane, I'm like, why are you hogging the middle lane? Move over. Just really, really frustrates me. It messes up the whole
backseat driver.
Oh, I can't help it, and I'm terrible. Like, Big Hans is a nightmare for driving in the middle lane, and I point it out to him all the time, and he's like, "Oh, I'm just waiting to overtake this car," and I'm like, "Yeah, but it's about 300 meters away. You've like get in that lane and then get back around again." Like, it just bugs me. It really, really, really bugs me. But I know someone's already put that in, so I was like, right, other stuff. Like, literally, there's so many driving things that I could moan about because I don't really get annoyed at a lot of things. I found finding things to put in the C-Bin actually quite hard because I'm quite chill, really. And
You'd be surprised, man. The amount of punks I interview that are just like, "Oh man, it was really hard for me to find stuff I'm angry about." I'm like, "You're a punk, supposed to be angry about everything."
But it's the whole, you're angry about all the obvious stuff usually, aren't you? Everyone's already done that and already dumped it in the sea. So it's like trying to think about, other stuff that isn't the obvious stuff that makes you annoyed is actually quite hard. But driving, loads and loads and loads of different things around driving aggravates me. But like people at the traffic lights, I just think the traffic light's not going to change until it's going to change. And they're like stopped at the line, and you can just see them edging and edging and edging and edging while it's on red. To the point sometimes where their entire car has already gone through the light. And I'm like, why stop in the first place? You might as well have just gone through the entire light if you're just going to go through the light anyway. Like,
yeah, and then they always you're going to leave any quicker.
Exactly. And then once they've actually edged forward, they're always the last ones to freaking move when the light goes green. It's like, I don't know, it just really winds me up. I feel like when I'm driving, I wish I had like a megaphone, so when people did things that really annoyed me, I could shout out my window at them. Like, stop edging forward, you idiot. It's going to change green eventually. Or move over into the inside lane, you twat. I
wonder if there's a thing you can buy that you can fit in the car that's like, where you can record different car horn sounds. And then I have like a speaker at the front, and then you could like select the buttons on your steering wheel. So you could have one that was just like "fucking cunt," and then one that was like "stop edging forward." Then one that was like "get in the middle lane."
It's funny that you say that because I have actually thought about this because I have to drive down the motorway every day to go to work, and like I have actually thought about when I've been driving. I wish I had something that I could just press a button and it'd just go "get out of the middle lane," like whoa, get out. And it would really make my life so much more enjoyable if I could just tell people, get out of the lane.
Maybe what you need is like a sign that's printed backwards that you could like slap into the window, and then they'll see it and they'll like, rear view, like the ambulance logo, and be like, oh shit.
Yeah, move. Backwards.
Exactly.
That's it. I don't know why certain driving things bug me so much, but they just really get me like really wound up. Like I say I'm really placid and I'm dead chilled. Like everyday life, you can, I'm more of a kind of diplomat in the sense I can be like, right, let's talk about it, calm down, blah blah blah, kind of thing. But when I'm in the car, I'm like, oh, you fucking cunt, like dead angry all the time.
But Shannon's the same. I've said many times about Shannon's road rage. It's awful, but like she's quite chill. But you get her in a van and she just becomes like just another level of rage, like
Isn't it
Nicolas
mad?
Cage
Yeah,
level of rage.
Maybe that's it. Maybe we've like getting the cage rage. We've like channeling the cage rage when we're driving.
You over cage ourselves, yeah.
That's what I'm. Yeah, it's not road rage anymore. It's cage rage. I get cage rage. That's what I'm having.
Road cage.
Yeah, road cage. Yeah.
You start driving down the road, just be like A B C D E F G.
No one could see that. I just realised, but I don't know how to vocalise that movement.
Oh yeah, the movement from Gone in 60 Seconds.
Fingers.
Look, that's right. The only thing about Gone in 60 Seconds is you've got to believe that Angelina Jolie wants to pork Cage.
Yeah, it's semi-unbelievable, that, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Do you know what, though? Cage Cage is quite a shagger when it comes to his films, to be honest.
Oh, mate, top shagger. Mate, dude's laying pipe non-stop.
Literally, I said to Chris the other day, Big Hands, that we when we started doing like our marathon, we should have made a tally of different things that Cage does, because honestly, he grabs the boob a lot in the films. He's a boob grabber.
Yeah, he loves it.
Quite a lot. He's a bum pincher. In the modern day life, he wouldn't get away with it. But,
yeah, he's just a harassment machine.
Yeah, he is, honestly. He's a creepy dude in quite a lot of the movies that we've watched so far. Like,
I'm trying to think of the films he hasn't like railed people in. I think the only one I can think of is.
So I think the only film I can recall where he hasn't been a creepy dude, like in like a sexual predator sense, is that one we were talking about before, where he was really like eccentric. I can't remember what the film was, but he gets killed. Spoiler alert! He gets killed by having his face pushed into a boil of fat, like a frying pan type fish pan thing, and his face melts off and he dies. And it honestly is the best murder I've ever seen in a film. And it was Nicolas Cage, which made it better. But I can't remember what the film was called.
Yeah.
But I think that's the only film so far that we've watched where he hasn't been a bit of a sexual predator.
I'm thinking of that bit. Is it Leaving Las Vegas, where he's like at the bar and he's like, "Do you want to fuck me? I'll fuck you real good." Oh.
Yeah. Honestly, he's a massive creep in like loads of his films. Like we're on like film 35, I think, and honestly, I think most of them he's been a bit of a man. You know, he's a bit of a bum grabber and a top shagger.
Did he do it in National Treasure? I don't know, like this Disney adventure film. Do you think he was grabbing asses? I can't remember if he does or not. He might do.
Yeah, you never know. Have you seen what his new film is? Have you seen the trailer for his...
the Dracula one?
Dracula, yeah.
Oh, that's going to be amazing.
So, Big Ann sent me the trailer the other day, and I didn't realise it was a Cage film. I just thought it was like a good film. I knew it was Dracula, and then the very end in it, Cage comes out as Dracula, and I was like, oh, it's a Cage film? What?
It looks fucking like, tight, though. I want to suck tits.
He's such a creep, man.
Well, he's going to be laying pipe in that film too, because Dracula was a right shag pass, wasn't he? He was right up there. The fanny rat.
Was there? Is he notorious for being top shagger?
Mate, Dracula was just absolutely fucking drowning in a tsunami of endless vag.
Lucky Dracula. I called him Dracula then.
Yeah. Yeah, because he had like all them vampire wives, and then Jonathan Harker comes over to do his be his solicitor or whatever, and then he like sees his missus and is like, oh, I need to go over to London and find his missus and give her a good porking, and he fucking does.
No way. I don't know how I've missed that. I've watched so many Dracula films. I don't know how I didn't realise he was like a proper top shagger.
Have you read the book?
I mean, I know he's always got like loads of women swooning around him, but that's because people think vampires are sexy, don't they? They're always meant to be good looking and what have you.
Yeah. Have you seen the Francis Ford Coppola film?
The which one?
The Francis Ford Coppola Dracula with Gary Oldman.
Yes, I think I have. Yeah.
Because he's proper laying pipe in that film.
Gary Oldman's a great actor, though, isn't he?
Yeah, he's right.
Is it the one I'm thinking of? Does he play Dracula?
Yeah, he plays Dracula. He's got like
Yeah.
a big giant pair of tits on top of his head for like half of it, and then he becomes like Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
He's
it is ringing a
walking around
bell. That
London in
I think.
tiny little sunglasses and picking up on and Winona Ryder and being like,
Yeah, I think I have seen that. I think it was a while ago though. I remember the titty head, but
yeah.
I can't remember that much about it.
There's a bit where he
There's
turns
another
into a
one,
wolf.
Winona Ryder's good.
He turns into a
Turns into a
wolf
wolf.
and then shags her as a wolf.
Yeah, I feel like I would remember that, but I don't remember that.
Rewatch it, mate. You'll be surprised.
Yeah,
And
I think I
also,
need to.
Anthony Hopkins in that film is also dead creepy as well. Everything he does is just like, ugh.
Yeah, Anthony Hopkins can be a bit creepy though.
Yeah.
He plays a good creepy, doesn't he? Like he does play a
He
good
does.
creepy.
He's got one of them faces.
How have we even got? We've gone from people creeping forward at red traffic lights to Dracula. How did we even get here?
Because I said road cage. Then we started talking about Nicolas
Yeah.
Cage, which is bad because the whole middle section is about Cage too. So this whole episode is going to be Cage heavy. So that's all right. But I think people who
I
do.
love Nicolas Cage.
You love him. So like people that move forward at the traffic lights, I definitely think it's being worthy because you just need to have patience. Like it's
Right.
to me, it's the same energy as when you like you hook up with someone and you start kissing them and they're immediately got their hands down your pants and it's like, mate, just wait. Like there's loads of time.
Yeah.
We're here all night. It's
Where's
fine.
the fire? Yeah.
Yeah. Just like you're gonna get there. Just like if you give it 5 minutes, just let me. The light's gonna turn green. Just give it a sec.
Yeah, exactly. That's a
Same
good one.
energy. Or people that like eat food before it's even really cooked all the way. They're just so hungry for it, they just bash it. Like people that pull pizzas out the oven and it's like still dead pale and they're just like, oh, a bit doughy this. It's like, man, just give it 5 minutes. 5 minutes would have been perfect, but you shagged it.
Yeah.
Uncooked oven chips.
I think yeah. It doesn't you know what, like it literally is like a few minutes, isn't it? What difference does a few minutes make in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah, exactly.
People just ride me up. I feel like beeping at them as well. This is my rage cage coming out now.
Yeah,
I feel like beeping at them when they're edging forward and being like, "Where you going? Where you going? Can't go anywhere, can you?"
They'll probably take that as a sign to just go through the red light, though. They'll be like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, but these people may as well just go through the red light though, because they've already gone through it. They've gone past the line.
Yeah,
they might as well have just gone through the red light.
They've already crossed the line. It's going in the bin. Listen for the splash. In it goes. Bang. People impatient at the traffic lights. Just fucking wait.
Yeah.
Mate. Time moves
patient.
on. It creeps forward at a regular pace. Like, unless you're going to get hit by lightning in your car in the next 5 seconds, you've got nothing to rush about.
Which, to be fair, I don't think would happen, would it? Because of the rubber tyres, so got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, and you're in like a Faraday cage, in it. That's what they call it.
The Faraday cage.
Yeah, cars are inside a Faraday cage.
Faraday cage is a good word. And a cage again. We can't get away from cage, can we?
Mate, cage is all the rage. So I'm going to quickly thank my Patreon supporters for this month. Thank you to Claire, Aidan, CJ, Sean, Adam, James, Cake, Christian, Froggy, Smallbags, Tim, Alex, Sniff, Yocken, C, Beefy, and Peg, Robert, Easy, Jimmy, Mark, David, Will, Sarah, Matt, Ollie, Alex, Chris, Dale, Caroline, Dave, Will, and Cody. Thank you for supporting the episode this month. You're fucking heroes. Even though I haven't posted anything on Patreon for ages because I've been working like a cunt and I haven't posted an episode in ages because I've been coughing my fucking soul out of my body. Cheers. Also, thank you to Cold Press CBD. Go to cold-press.io. Use code Simon10 all caps for 10% off your first month's order of vegan CBD gummy bears. And they send cool stuff too, like temporary tattoos and hats and sticker books and stuff. Always good. Lovely independent company. Check them out. They support the show. It's all good. Right, so I was thinking, because you have been doing this cage marathon with big hands,
yeah.
And I was just going to give you like a few different scenarios in your everyday life, and I want you to tell me which Nicolas Cage you think would be best to help you in that scenario.
Okay, cool. Right.
So the first one is right. We're talking about driving. Imagine this. Picture this scenario. You're driving down the motorway. And you just hear boom, blah, 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 blah. Your tire's blasted off. Pop the tire. You fucking skid into the hard shoulder, and you're sitting there waiting. AA aren't picking up. RAC ain't picking up. Big Hands ain't picking up. Nicolas Cage will answer his phone. Which Nicolas Cage are you calling?
Oh, it's got to be the Gone in 60 Seconds, Nicolas Cage. He can
Yeah.
go and steal Eleanor, pick me up in Eleanor, and we can go for a ride.
But do you think he'd like help you change your tire, or he'd just pick you up in his Mustang?
Yeah. He could probably come and change the tyre, but that's not as much fun, is it? So yeah, picking me up in a Mustang would be better. But yeah, also he's very car worthy, and he works in the mechanic shop before he left in the film and came back. He worked in the mechanic, so he probably could change my tyre.
Right.
Or he could ring Angelina Jolie and she can come and change the tyre.
Yeah, I think Jolie would probably be the tyre changer, because Gone 60 Seconds Cage, he's got a nice sort of oxblood leather jacket on. His hair's done up nice. He's not getting down on his knees and changing that tyre. But dreadlocked Angelina Jolie would.
Though. Yeah, oh yeah, and she'd do it rapid as well. She'd do it quick.
Yeah, and he'd be like, "Good job, Angelina Jolie. Hop in the car with me and Kat. We're gonna go."
That's actually a decent impression. Have you been practicing that?
Yeah, I've been practicing it all day in bed, just fixing my tooth and being like, "Oh, my tooth hurts."
Which cage were you this morning then to get your DIY dentistry done?
Oh man, I was probably Mandy Cage doing my dentistry this morning.
Mandy Cage?
Yeah, have you watched Mandy?
No, we've not made it to Mandy yet.
That's one of the newer ones. That's a real treat, waiting for you right at the end of the rainbow.
Oh, is it? Where is it on the list? Let's have a look.
It's
is it like if it's a modern one? Is it?
Yeah.
So we've started right at the bottom. So we're literally done all like the late 80s, working our way up. So yeah, I think we've got, he's done 114 movies.
Yeah.
It's gonna take us a while. Some of them as well, I'm just like, why is Cage in this film? Oh yeah, it's well near the Mandy one. It's right at the top.
Yeah, it's class though.
Can you give us an insight into what kind of Cage that is without spoiling the film?
Fucking unhinged, psychotic, manic as fuck, on a rampage. Look at, going mental with like incredible heavy metal music playing and like horrible violent weapons and chainsaws.
Yeah, that's perfect Cage, I would say, for that.
Yeah. Right, let's see. You're right. You're standing in line at Lidl, and the cashier is bashing through items quick as fuck. But you look up, and it's Nicolas Cage. Which Cage is it?
Oh, he's the cashier. He's bashing through the items quick.
Yeah.
Oh, I reckon that is a. Ooh, trying to have a think what we've watched so far that he's been in where he's been a bit mental like that.
We're looking for an efficient Cage.
Maybe a Con Air Cage,
Yeah, I could see that. He's putting the work in.
Yeah, he was pretty efficient and pretty reliable, wasn't he, in Con Air?
Yeah, he's a military man. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got his wits about him. He's very handy. So yeah, I reckon Con Air Cage has got to be the little cashier Cage.
Yeah, that's a great Cage. Right, you're going home after a long night at a gig. You hop in a taxi, and there's an over-friendly taxi driver who wants to know a bit too much about you. But it's Nicolas Cage. Who is it?
So this could be anyone, a creepy Cage, couldn't it?
Yeah, I have an idea of which Cage this could be, but I want you to tell me which Cage you think it is.
Yeah. So I'm just having a quick scroll through the ones we've watched to see if I can trigger my memory, because we've watched a lot of them.
Right on. I'm going to sugar in the water.
Kind of thinking maybe like a Vampire's Kiss Cage. So he's kind of
interesting.
Yeah, so he's a bit bonkers and a bit over the top in that. Maybe. Oh gosh, it's a hard one. This one.
Do you want me to give you my thought, and you can see if you agree?
Yeah. I
think it would be Face-Off Cage, Castor Troy, because he's super charismatic and is always like got something to say, and he's like, I think he'd be the kind of guy that you'd get in, and he'd just be like trying to like be like, oh, so what'd you do tonight? You having a good time? You partying? Going home? Like, I think
That's a
he'd be
good
right on
shout,
it.
actually. That because
He'd offer you some of his drugs and stuff.
He's too likable, isn't he? In that, even though he's the bad guy, he is quite a likable character. We were talking about Face Off actually after because we watched that one fairly recently because we did the big three: The Rock, Con Air, and Face Off.
Yeah.
And we were saying, well, we think maybe they'd have played better if they'd played the characters the other way around. I know, they technically do play the characters the other way around, but you know what I mean? If they were actually the other way around.
Yeah, but it was swapped around again. I don't know. I don't think anyone could take John Travolta seriously as like a super cool, drug lord, gangster killer.
Maybe, but it'd been quite cool watching Cage play the John Travolta part, if you know what I mean. I think more than anything, like I feel like Cage suits the bad guy more than the good guy, and I think he played too much of the good guy in this.
I think so, but I think he would be the taxi driver for sure.
Yeah, I agree with that one. I think that's a good shout. Definitely a good shout.
Right. So you hear a knock on your door, and it's your neighbour, and they need to borrow some sugar. But you've seen this neighbour before because they've borrowed your lawnmower, they've borrowed a blender, they borrowed a crock pot and never gave it back, and now they're looking for some sugar.
Ooh.
Which Nicolas Cage is the over-familiar neighbour?
Over-familiar neighbour that never gives me my stuff back.
Yeah.
I reckon maybe this is the Leaving Las Vegas Cage because I reckon he's not intentionally forgetting to give me my stuff back, but he's just too pissed to realise he's like borrowed it.
Yeah.
If and he's like random shit.
No, I don't have that. I don't have it.
Yeah, exactly. Like he's come over when he's like absolutely out of his trolley because he's hammered, borrowed something, and then obviously passed out or whatever, and then completely forgot that he's borrowed it, and then just obviously woke up and got drunk again, and then he's come over again for something else, borrowed that, passed out, forgot he's borrowed it. Yeah, I reckon Leaving Las Vegas Cage is the one.
He's got a whole cupboard full of mysterious Pyrex dishes that he doesn't know where they came from, and it's all yours.
He's probably just got a room in his house that's just full of shit that he's borrowed when he's been hammered, not realised, and it's just gone in the cupboard, and then one day he'll wake up sober and be like, what? Where did this shit come from?
Right. You're a teenager, and you've got an English teacher that you're a little bit too attracted to. Which Cage is that?
Oh, okay.
Like, you shouldn't be, but there's something about him that makes you go, oh, you know what? Like a bit of that.
Can I do a repeat?
Yeah, go on then.
Can I have Con Air Cage? Con Air Cage is quite attractive.
Yeah, but would he be an English teacher though?
Well, you don't know. You get. I just think, like looks wise, I quite like Con Air Cage. Con Air Cage is quite an attractive one. In a weird way, I quite like a Gone in 60 Seconds Cage for attraction as well. I don't know why. I mean, he's not really an attractive man in my view. Like, he's not unattractive, but like, he's not stereotypically known for his good looks, is he? So it's quite a tricky one. But there are a couple of films that he is more attractive in, definitely.
I think
Con Air, Gone in 60 Seconds.
Raising Arizona, he's weirdly attractive. I don't know why, like that sort of just trying his best and wants to make his wife happy and like weird crazy hair and mustache, I think kind of does him well as well.
Yeah, actually, I agree with that. I quite like the Raising. The mustache thing does do him well. It's actually which one was it? There was one where he was Birdie, one of his earlier ones where he was like a military man, and he was weirdly attractive in that as well. But again, he was a military man, so I don't know necessarily if that would be a teacher vibe again. I guess the Raising Arizona one could be a good shout for teacher because he was kind of an average Joe kind of guy in that one, but a bit. I'd obviously had bonkers friends that were getting him into trouble and stuff, but
yeah,
that might be a bad shout. But there are quite a few films that he's strangely fairly attractive in, which is weird.
Right, we're going to think of one more.
If you haven't watched Birdie, you should watch Birdie, because it was a 1984 film, so it was one of the earlier ones, and it was basically about his mate. So it's him and his mate grew up together, and his mate was a bit like obsessed with birds, to the point like he wanted to be a bird. And the film's very much about his mate being in like a mental asylum because he's gone a bit weird and thinks he's a bird, and it's about Cage trying to kind of bring him back to reality, and it's really quite interesting. It's a good film.
Pretty good. Right,
it was one of the earlier ones that was actually good.
You're in school, right? You're in school. Yeah. Still in school. You got Nicolas Cage as your teacher. There's someone in your class that bullies you, right? They treat you like shit. You grow up. 15 years later, you're out of school. You're living your life, and you get a random Facebook message from this person, but they're trying to sell you on a pyramid scheme. And they're pretending like they never used to treat you like shit. They're like, all right, babe, just want to show you this amazing opportunity I've got for juicing. Which Cage is this?
So the Cage is the person trying to sell me the pyramid, the bully?
Yeah, Cage used to bully you. You haven't heard from them for 15 years, and now they're sending you Facebook messages trying to sell you a weight loss juicing program.
How dare they? Who do I think, which Cage is this going to be? Some of these are quite hard, you know, because I'm having to really wrap my brain about the films that I've watched, because I've watched so many. And to be honest, Cage, he does play a very similar part in a lot of these films.
Yeah, well, I was trying to think of scenarios we can all relate to.
Oh, yeah,
maybe
definitely.
Wouldn't be easy just to put someone in, you know, you got to be a bit cerebral with it, you know.
Maybe the Cage that I think would be that one.
Tricky. It's tricky.
Right, let me try and think about which films these were. The Snake Eyes Cage, maybe.
Snake Eyes Cage. It's a shout.
Snake Eyes. Yeah, because he was a bit sleazy in that one, wasn't he, from what I can remember.
Mm-hmm.
And oh god, I'm trying to wrap my brain about which one it was.
There's too many cages and not too similar.
I've got Cage Overload. I think I've got like cannot compute Cage Overload.
Yeah, for sure. I think Snake Eyes Cage is a good shout. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Yeah, I think Snake Eyes Cage. I reckon, because that was. Let me just refresh my memory on what it was. Because he was. Oh yeah, he was a shady police detective, wasn't he? So. Oh, I'll tell you what, the 8mm one that we recently watched was a bit of a weird one, because that, I don't know if you've seen it, it's about trying to work out whether or not a movie is really a snuff film or not. Like, he's a detective.
Only a bully would be a cop, so I think, you know, that's definitely a shout.
Shady police detective, says it. Snake Eyes. I'm going for Snake Eyes Cage.
Yeah, Snake Eyes Cage. Fucking there it is. So I think we've really just discovered which cages are in your life.
Too many, apparently.
I think Cage would be a messy eater, wouldn't you say? So let's move on to our next thing, which is messy food. What's your problem with it?
Hate it. So, you know, when I say like messy food, I'm talking like, you know, when you get those big, massive, like, fat burgers that have got like 17 layers, and you bite them and everything just goes over your hands. I don't know if it's so much the messy food, but I think it's that I don't like having like food juice on my hands. I think it's that more than anything, is the sense of that feeling of having like dirty hands. Food. Yeah. So I get a bit weirded out if like I ever order something and I have to eat with my hands, and I can't like keep it contained. Like, it freaks me out a little bit.
You're talking to someone who's got a beard.
Oh yeah, so I can imagine. See, like, I don't think if I was a dude, I don't think I could have a beard, because I think that would give me the same vibes, like bits and bobs in there, and you know, mustache. I think mustache, everything gets in the tash, right?
Always, mate. Saucy mustache, and I've got kind of a long mustache, like on the sides. So if I don't trim it just right, like the mustache goes in the mouth. If I take a big bite, it kind of curls in and goes in with the bite, and I have to kind of get it out and stuff. It's really annoying.
Does that not make you cringe a little bit? Because the idea of how that feels makes me a bit weird.
Yes, it does make me cringe. But it's the price I've got to pay for looking like an icon.
Price you've got to pay for such a good beard.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's it. I think I don't mind finger food. I don't mind using my hands to eat food as long as it's like not dripping down and like when you get like sauce between your fingers and stuff like that.
Oh no, yeah.
It's not for me. The feel of like that sauce dripping down between my fingers makes everything like it makes the toes curl. Like that kind of cringe feeling.
Ooh.
Like it just makes me feel disgusting. I hate it. Like hot dogs and like or if you bite something and you can't get it in your mouth enough and it's like all ends up on your face and I'm like, oh. It's not for me.
No, I totally get you. I mean, I think there's something sort of magnificently hedonistic about enjoying a big messy food and kind of having it all over you and washing up. I kind of enjoy it in a weird way, but I definitely think big messy burgers can get fucked because one, if you're going to sell a big burger, it should be wide. It shouldn't be tall. It should be wide.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. Like I don't get it. Like I get that flavor like the flavors are nice and like people want to put different things in a burger because they all complement and go nice together. But what is the point of having a burger that you can't fit in your gob? Like if you can't take a bite of that in one go, it's pointless because then you've got to deconstruct it anyway, and you're not getting a full experience. So for me, I'd rather have just a nice classic burger with like vegan burger, obviously, but you're talking like vegan bacon, vegan cheese, gherkins, classic. It's enough for me. And start shoving like freaking mac and cheese in it and onion rings and another layer and another burger and a chicken burger and everything else on top of that. And it's like freaking a foot tall. It's like, what's the point? I can't get that amount. I've got a big gob, but my gob's not that big,
Yeah.
I can't get that burger in there.
It's like bun, burger, cheeseburger, bacon, pulled pork, onion rings, slaw, 3 sauces, and then it just layers up and up and up and up. It's like, well, what you really want is you want toppings, right? To just get like loaded fries in a burger. That's what you want, really.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And I would much prefer that. Like, I love a loaded fry. Loaded fries are the way forward for junk food in my eyes. Like, more people need to just chuck loaded fries in. But your burger, for me, keep it simple. I want to be able to bite it without it all slipping out the back or, falling apart. I don't want to have to deconstruct the burger because then what's the point?
Yeah.
I don't want to eat a burger with a knife and fork. Do you know what I mean? But
it's
I also
always
don't
disappointed when like the bun has got too much structural integrity. You take a bite and then the bun pushes the patties out and it just kind of slaps onto the plate like.
Oh my God, I hate that so much. Or like, it doesn't fall out, but it just, every bite, it just hangs a little bit more out the back. And you like run out of burger and then the bun and all you've got at the end is burger. Because then I have to touch the burger to eat the burger and then my hands get slimy. So that's following on to this messy food anxiety thing that I have. I don't want to have to do that.
How do you feel about I know you won't eat like a chicken wing because obviously vegan, but like picking up like saucy finger food and eating it like that. How do you feel about
that? Even if I was a meat eater, I wouldn't eat that because I just couldn't pick it up and eat it. If it was like a dry chicken wing, yeah, but if it's covered in sauce like that, there is absolutely no way I would be able to do it. I can't. If like because they do obviously like vegan versions of stuff like that, and they do have them where they're absolutely covered in sauce. I have to use a fork anyway because I can't. I just can't physically pick it up if it's full of sauce.
Way. Wow.
I know.
I feel like
just while we're having this conversation, I'm just going to show you my little cat. He's having a nice little shag of my leg.
Oh, he is.
He wants to be a top shagger like Kate.
I thought he was making some biscuits, but no, he's proper railing your foot, isn't he?
That's my foot under there. I don't know why he's doing it. I just thought I'd share the love.
That's some cat-on-cat action right there.
Yeah. So now you know why you're talking to me with my cat shagging my foot.
Yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thought.
Just put you in that uncomfortable zone ever so slightly.
Well, it's like you never know when you're having a Zoom call with someone whether or not like they're going to be in their pants underneath or something. But like now I'm going to be thinking like, is there a cat like caging on their foot right now?
I've got pants on, but I have also got a cat shagging my foot.
I mean, there's a blanket separating the cat genitalia from your foot, so it's not like there's actual something happening
Yeah,
on there, but still not nice.
there is this time. I could tell you the most uncomfortable I've ever felt as a cat mom. It is going to make you cringe.
Go for it.
He did this once, but I was in bed and I had no socks on, and he pulled, as he was padding and moving around, the cover pulled off my foot, and his widgie went between my toes.
Oh my!
It was honestly the most uncomfortable I've ever felt.
That's terrible. Oh, that must be like feeling like you ever like step on a slug without any shoes or socks on. Yeah, and it just squidges through. Yeah.
The worst thing about it is I can still feel it. I know what it feels like. It's in my head forever now. It's like drummed in there. It's like, technically, this is my child. I was like, why?
Is your cat
So
like
weird.
secretly Quentin Tarantino?
Oh,
Just like
God.
trying to bash your feet in.
Wait, I don't know. He's only recently started doing this. We had this like big fluffy blanket, and he started doing it on that fluffy blanket because it's kind of like feels like a cat or whatever. But then he's like slowly moved to like off the blanket and then onto like our feet in bed, and like you kick him off and stuff, but he just climbs back on again. I mean, he never, apart from the time his which went between my toes, he never actually kind of like latches on or anything like that. He usually just pads and like humps the air, but like. I don't know why it's just become a habit of his, like he just does it now. And then he'll just chill. I mean, he's castrated as well, so it's definitely behavioural, but he's just having a little nice time in it.
He's just trying to show you his boss. He's just like, oh yeah, a little bit of that.
Yeah. He
I'm in
knows I'm
charge.
boss. Imagine if I did it back to him though, it's like, you think you're boss? Well, I'll show you.
Yeah, what's this? I can literally pick you up.
It's like
So back to the task at hand. I'm thinking I might flip the slow bro for this one because I kind of like I don't like, but also I do like messy food, and I think sometimes a bit of mess is all right, a bit of slap and tick or whatever. So I'm gonna slow bro up, it goes in the bin. Slow bro and pokeball up, it goes out of the bin. Let's see what fate deems it so. It's going in the bin. Slow bro up. 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Listen for the splash, and it goes. Bang, messy food. I don't know if I 100% agree with that, but the slow bro has deemed it so that's all right.
Slow bro,
so you got the trio so far. Yeah, you got the trio. How do you feel about that?
Feeling good. Waiting for the Kit Kat. I'm waiting for this 4-way Kit Kat.
Let's end it strong with dolls.
Yeah.
What kind of dolls are you talking here?
Right, not like the kids' dolls that are just like little babies, that they dress up and carry around and pretend to mum. Those I'm fine with. Dolls from like the freaking 1800s that are like porcelain and are always just in a dark corner somewhere whenever you walk into some like weird house, just like staring at you. Like weird old-fashioned porcelain dolls are freaky. They're so freaky.
It's like a universally accepted fact, isn't it, that old school dolls are just mad. I don't know what it is about them that makes them so weird.
They're just so creepy.
I think it's because their faces are normally sculpted to be really innocent and like childlike and almost lifelike, and then their bodies are just like little like it's like really primitive like sausage arms and legs. Like it's not like really really realistic head on a proper floppy body.
Yeah, they're creepy, right? I don't know what it is. Like some dolls just really freak me out. Like, have you seen those? I don't know if you've seen. There was a program a while back about people who have these really, really, really lifelike dolls that look like babies, and it's
little I see them being sold on Facebook Marketplace all the time.
Yeah, so
reborn dolls.
Yeah, and they look really lifelike, but they're obviously like plastic and weird. They freak me out as well, and they're like a modern one.
Yeah, I do too.
But it's more like those porcelain dolls that have like, that have been around for hundreds of years, and the clothes are all like dusty and dirty, and like the faces are just like blank stares and like they've got a crack in their face, and people have them just like lined up in like old-fashioned houses and stuff, or like if you go to like places like manor houses and stuff like that, and they're just in the corner of a room. I don't know. I just imagine them being like completely full of like evil spirits and will murder me in my sleep if I have them in my room or anything. Like they're creepy.
Yeah, they're creepy. And like every time there's like someone's like, "Oh, my doll's haunted." It's always one of those old dolls. There's this woman on TikTok. I kept seeing the videos for a while and then they stopped. But she like collected haunted dolls. Like she had a whole room full of dolls that were haunted, and it was like full of videos that were like evidence of the dolls moving and doing stuff. And it would be like a camera on the doll, and it would like lift its arm or whatever, or like jiggle around or do something weird. Like clearly she's just sticking around, but it was just like, why would you have so many dolls like on eBay looking for like haunted dolls and stuff?
I know some people do like. I mean, I believe in ghosts and stuff like that. I've got a bit of a thing for spiritual side of stuff. I quite like going on a bit of a ghost hunt and stuff like that. But I don't know. I just wouldn't fuck with dolls in that respect. Like I would fully expect one of the dolls to be haunted. Like I could get on board with that. I would believe that.
Yeah, I think if you were a ghost, you'd look for the creepiest thing to like imprint your soul upon, right? You wouldn't like imprint your soul in like an air fryer or something, would you? You'd stick it in a fucking the creepiest 19th century doll.
Haunted air fryer.
My hash browns aren't crispy enough, no matter how hard I cook them.
That fucking ghost. No one wants a soggy hash brown. I'm sure we've had a soggy hash brown conversation before as well. I think that was on the last podcast.
Yeah, we were talking about soggy hash browns and sexy beans. No, because we were talking about breakfast, like really shit, like hotel breakfast.
Yeah, we were like
soggy hash browns and like thick beans that have been out all day, and you told me about your sexy beans and your party beans.
Yeah, we need to. Well, if you ever stay with us, we'll make you some.
Yeah,
and you can experience sexy beans.
Bring me some sexy beans at MPF or something.
Yeah, I'll just bring you a cup of beans with a sausage in it, partridge quote.
I'll be like bad neighbour Cage and not give you a little Tupperware thing back. That'd be amazing. Imagine at MPF there was like a cafeteria that was just like big bowls of sexy beans that people could just help themselves to.
I mean, we could put it forward.
Everyone would just be fine then. You'd be at the main stage, it would just smell like assholes because everyone would just be ripping ass.
Oh my god, it would be called a Manchester Pump Festival.
Manchester Punk Fartstival.
Manchester Pump Farts.
Oh man.
Funny.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think like, are there any more modern day dolls that creep you out, or is it all just these old ones? Because like apart from the reborn dolls, obviously.
Cabbage Patch Kid doll things were quite freaky. Did you ever see one of them?
Yeah, I had one come into the shop recently in my shop, and I was just like, this is just weird. Like they're so like rotund and squidgy and like uncanny.
Like weird shaped head and like they're just, I don't know. It baffles me that like dolls are intended for children, yet they're always so freaking creepy. Like, how does somebody like design those dolls for children and not think surely this is going to freak the child out? Like especially the old.
Oh, sorry, I interrupted you there.
It's okay, crack on.
I was gonna say I always found the concept of little girls playing with baby dolls to be freaky in amongst itself. It's like, why are you pretending to be a mum? Like you literally were just this thing. Like you're carrying around a baby that's like the size of you.
Yeah, I get it because it's like trying to teach them about like caring and like looking after them and things like that. But also, I get you because I just think, well, just be a child still. Like, you shouldn't really be needing to be a mum in that respect. But I guess it's more about them learning how to care for something, which is a skill that you need anything. You know, it could be animals, dolls, whatever. But it is a weird concept when you think about it.
Yeah.
Sorry, man, I need a cough. One sec.
Get it out of you. Get it out of you. Get it out.
Get the cum off the chest.
Yeah, get it out, mate. Let it out. Get a load off. But I saw a woman walking through town, and she was pushing a toy like pram. I think she had like a support worker. She had a carer and stuff. But she stopped me to have a look inside the pram because she was so proud of what was in the pram. But it was a garden gnome.
What?
She pushing around the little gnome, and I thought, man, that's great because to me that's appropriately sized for that little pram.
Yeah. I wonder if she carries that gnome around all the time.
Yeah, I think so. But the interaction proper made my day. She was just really proud of this gnome that was her baby, and was just showing everyone. And everyone was just like, "Oh yeah, he looks so cute. He's so handsome in that little chair." And everyone was being really nice about it. And I was just like, "Yeah, this is the energy I want." If you just push around like a Victorian doll, I think it would just be traumatizing everyone.
Oh my God, that'd be like my worst nightmare if somebody came up to me and was like, "Oh, just look at my cute little baby," and then peeled back the layer of the pram and it was just this freaking porcelain doll. I'd be like, "Oh my God, get away from me!"
The doll starts winking at you and you start getting chest pain.
That's the kind of thing that would give me nightmares,
Yeah, and all those old dolls have those weird weighted eyelids, and so when they tilt back, they kind of half blink and shit. I hate it.
That's creepy. That's really creepy. That is I've forgotten about them, and they just kind of go, and you're like,
and they got really long eyelashes, uncannily long eyelashes.
Yeah, they're so creepy, man. I'm so glad that dolls don't look like that anymore. I mean, not that I'm surrounded by dolls very often. Obviously, I don't have kids or anything like that, but I'm just glad that dolls now are not actually that creepy.
Yeah.
Tell you what, did you ever see that? There was a Channel 4 documentary about sex dolls. Did you ever see that?
Yeah, I think I did.
Those big life full size dolls, and there was some guy that had about 10 around his house, and I don't know, Jemima would just sit on the sofa and wait for him to come and cuddle at night, and Stephanie would be in the bedroom or whatever, and it was they were creepy as well. I didn't like them. I mean, I get some people's need for those, but those were if I turned up at someone's house and they had all these big life-size dolls popping around everywhere, I'd leave. I just don't think they're just weird.
Yeah, not to yuck anyone's yums, but I think there's a point of okay, I don't understand this, and I'm never going to understand this, and it's quite creeping me out. So I think I'll just leave you to it.
Exactly.
Once again,
each their own.
I saw a guy on TikTok. You've seen stuff on TikTok. My For You is fucked, but and it was a guy who had multiple real dolls, and he had one that was his girlfriend, and then he had one that was he wanted to be with, but she kept rejecting him. And I was like, oh man, you really have to be troubled that even when you buy a real doll, you're fantasizing that they're rejecting you.
Oh, that's quite sad, really, isn't it, when you think about that? It's that person's self-esteem must be so low that even in a scenario where they get to decide, they're still rejecting themselves. That's quite sad, really. It's poetic in a sense. Yeah. Surely you just
sad. He's
I think
it was also good because maybe, but he was Denise, I really like Denise, and I tried, but she's not interested in me in that way. She wants to stay friends, so I'm going to respect her decision. So I was okay, cool. Consent is good even when it's a doll. But I'm just mate, it's fine. Just
it's
make it
your fantasy. You can make it. You can do. You can give consent from Denise to yourself and carry on.
She's not sentient, mate.
I wonder, with these kind of people, whether or not they get so much into it that they think it becomes it is a reality. I wonder if it almost becomes they've got split personality in a sense. Do you know what I mean?
It's like that Lars and the Real Girl film where he really believes that she's real, and it's a coping mechanism thing.
No, I don't think I've seen that.
It's a Ryan Gosling film where he has a one of those real dolls, and the whole town that he lives in decides to go along with the act to help him.
Right.
And then he sort of fabricate doll disease and stuff, and it's really, really, really sad.
I mean, that sounds quite. Yeah, that sounds like a very heart-wrenching film, to be honest.
It's very sad. I recommend it, but it's proper harrowing.
What was it called again?
Lars and the Real Girl.
Lars and the Real Girl. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, recommend it.
Is it going to freak me out though? Is the doll going to creep me out?
No, it won't freak you out. If anything, it'll warm the cockles of your heart and then crush you at the end.
Okay, it's going to build up my my love for dolls and then break my heart.
Well, maybe your love of real sex dolls, but maybe not. I think it'd be a different film if it was Ryan Gosling with a 19th century child's porcelain doll. He's acting like it's his girlfriend. I think that might be a different kind of film. Watkins, the musical.
I've really just ruined it for myself here, haven't I? Because if anybody ever wants to freak me out, they know what to do now.
Yeah, they know your weakness.
They know my weakness.
They'll be edging at the traffic light. She'll be honking the horn, and they're going to stick a doll out the window to stare at you, and they'll jiggle it so their eyelids flap.
Oh God, that's like the worst image ever.
Yeah.
That literally just gives me like the right cringes.
And then they'll throw a big messy burger at your window.
Oh God, what a nightmare! What a nightmare we've just created.
One more scenario: someone throws a burger at your window, and a kind stranger comes up to clean it off, and it's Nicolas Cage. Which Nicolas Cage is helping you clean a burger off your window?
That's going to be the scientist guy from The Rock.
Yeah, I think that's
he's
exactly
nice
the right
guy.
answer.
Yeah.
He plays his guitar. He drives mental.
Yeah.
I think that's dead on. Right, so it's going in the bin. Listen for the splash. Dolls are going in. Bang. 4 for 4. You got the Kit Kat.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
I feel great. I think I'm on 6 for 6 now. I think, aren't I? Based on the 2 as well from.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Has anyone else got 6
what
for
would
6?
That be like? Well, there's been multiple people that have come on a few times and gone pretty good. So I think there's a few people that have got high numbers, but I think you're in the minority of people that have done really well.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's good.
I guess a 6 for 6 would be like. I guess that would be like a box of Ferrero Rocher or something, right? 6 for 6.
Yeah. I used to love Ferrero Rocher before I went vegan, actually. Good chocolate choice.
Yeah, they must make vegan options.
It could be a small tray of marzipan fruits.
Yeah, I mean, not for me, but you go right ahead.
Yeah, they're vegan. Chris loves big marzipan fruits. He's an absolute marzipan fiend.
I can't imagine that. I can't imagine him back into marzipan.
He'll eat marzipan by the block.
Just like a fucking... some people eat cheese by the block. He's just there with a block of marzipan.
Honestly, we'll go food shopping sometimes, and he'll sneak just those blocks of marzipan that you're supposed to like roll out for making cakes and stuff. It's just literally like a wad of marzipan. Just suddenly we'll be at the checkout and I'll be like, oh, marzipan, and he'll be like, I'll save that for later.
One of it. This is my midnight snack for my cage marathon.
I mean, who am I to judge? Let him be. I could eat my body weight in Pringles, so we've all got something.
I had my Texas barbecue out this morning, cracking them, backing them down. After I did my tooth, I was like, "Oh, treat myself now with some Pringles."
Yeah, definitely.
On that note, I think we should call it there, and I think you should. Well, first off, let's let people know what's going on with Folly Dreams. You got some stuff coming out. You got some gigs coming up.
So we've not actually booked many gigs for this year so far because we are working on album number 2.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, we're writing at the moment. So, I mean, I don't know if you're aware that we got a new member. So, Ian from Snatch Game joined us fairly recently. Yeah, Ursula Andress is now a Follow Your Dreams member, which is funny because Ian absolutely loves us and he fangirls over us, and now he is us.
Yeah, that was the same with me and Helpless. Yeah. When I joined Helpless, I was like, okay, but you're one of my favourite bands, so this is really weird.
Yeah, he like I think it's been a bit of a weird moment for him for a while because he's always been supporting us from the front line, and now he's like, yes, I am in you, and honestly adds so much to the band as well. It sounds absolutely large as life with him in it. Sounds mint.
Lorgin in George. I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, that's it. So obviously we've got that. So now we're just working on getting some songs down as a 5-piece. Ready for album number 2, which is in the workings. I'm working on a new t-shirt design. So I'm doing a set of 3. So the original t-shirt that's got like the fat cat on a throne being carried by other cats, that's going to be one of 3. So I'm going to do like a little story through t-shirts on that of a turning over of the fat cat, you know. And then just the album. We're not accepting gigs, but we've just not really actively been looking for any while we get some music done. So
just been focusing on writing.
Yeah, and obviously I've had a bit of a break from doing band stuff, obviously, while I finished my course, which I finished in December now. So I had to take a bit of a step back while I finalised some last minute bits of that. So now I can get back fully into the swing a little bit more now that that's done. So it's kind of just getting going again, really.
Have you got any ideas of a funny album title name? Because your last record had a great name.
Yeah, we do have an album title name, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You have to wait and see.
Tell me in secret.
It's a great name, yeah, if I do say so myself. But yeah, the last one was called The Half-Life of Teaspoons, which was based on a Australian study about teaspoons in the workplace, which was on the link was on the album if anybody was interested in reading the study, which was pretty cool as well. But
I was wondering, is it going to be fork themed? Is it going to be more spoons? What's the shout here?
No, it's not. It's I'm trying to think how I can explain it without giving it away, but it's based on something that happened.
Based on something that happened. You can tell me about it when we stop recording.
Yeah, I will. When you're not recording, I'll let you know. But then everyone else can wait until we bring it out.
Exactly. And on that note, I'm going to say thanks for coming on. It's been a pleasure to finally get this done.
Finally.
You're one of my favourite little friends, and I love it when we get to catch up and I see you, and when Andy Davis is spitting beer in your mouth and stuff. Lovely. So it's a lovely thing. Yeah.
That was art in itself. That was us creating our own art for you all to witness.
I've never been so disgusted and aroused all at once. It was amazing.
It's all right. I wouldn't do it with anyone, but Andy's one of my closest mates, so we'll share a bit of spit from time to time.
Yeah. What's a bit of spitty beer amongst friends? Nothing.
Exactly.
Everyone go check out Follow Your Dreams, and I'll see you guys next week. So, cheers.
Thanks, mate.
Hey guys, it's me, Big Tasty. I just wanted to say cheers for listening to this week's episode, and I hope you enjoyed listening to it as much as I enjoyed making it. Now, if you feel so inclined, you should come check out my Patreon page. You can sign up for as little as £1 a month, and you get weekly exclusive video tier lists and monthly mail-outs with things such as stickers and fabric patches, zines and art prints. Hey, and if you can't spare the money right now, I totally understand. No pressure. I'm going to keep making episodes regardless, but if you can support financially, it really helps the show. Just keep moving on. And then another way you can help is just to follow us on stuff like Twitter and Instagram at Seaburn Podcast and share it around to people that you think might like this filthy shit. Anyway, love you guys, appreciate you, and I'll see you next week.